All right, we are live. All right, everybody, welcome to the Attitude for Gratitude podcast Friday night over here at Will Work. Time is now 7:56 p.m. We got a brother by the name of Ray on here real quick. Pop in and give you some experience, strength, and hope. Ray, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Ray. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Ray.
How we doing? Yeah, I got offered. Rob just kind of sent me a text about 5 minutes ago saying if I wanted to come in here. I did what every good alcoholic does at first and say no, but here we are.
Yeah.
I'm just so, man. I shared a little bit today in the meeting, and I'm just so grateful today, man. I got some struggles in my life that I'm going through, but by the grace of God, this program has been set forth some guidelines within the first 164 pages of the big book that I can rely on a day-to-day basis, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like all of us, we got so many struggles that we go through. A lot of us are parents. A lot of us are. I mean, every role we play in this world, whether it's a parent, child, employee, employer, we have these roles that we have to play. And without this program, I feel that doing it. So,
yeah,
I guess I'll kind of share a little bit about my story for those of you who don't know me. I know a lot of people around here, but it's first kind of came into Will Work in 2017. I mean, we're both kind of some of the OGs of Will Work.
Yep, absolutely.
It was, man, when we first opened up a couple of rooms down, a couple buildings down, and seeing this whole thing grow has been super, super cool. But when I first came into AA, I didn't want anything to do with step work. Step work wasn't the plan, man.
Right. That's for you guys.
Yeah,
that's for you guys. I don't want to do that shit.
I'm gonna rewrite this book, man. I'm gonna show you how this doesn't work for me.
Yep.
And here's the deal, man. I remember going into my first AA meeting when I was like 17 years old, thinking I was never gonna get a year sober, and I wasn't like any of these people around here.
Yeah. They were all old and they smoked cigarettes back then. You know what I mean? I remember you smoked in the meetings.
Yeah.
I think my first meeting, I was 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first treatment, I was 16.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I wonder like how many people like from that treatment are like, maybe there's still one that's still clean, sober. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I too, just like you, man. I mean, we had that image of how we're different, how we're not gonna be like one of those people, and this is the last place we'd find ourselves. So absolutely. I mean, fast forward through like 7 treatments between the age of 17 and 28 when I finally got introduced into Will Work.
Yeah.
I still had this idea that I don't want anything they got.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to do the work.
Right. Why would you want to do that shit? It's for sissies.
I just thought here's the truth, man. I mean, I just thought if I got the house, the car, the girl, all that stuff, life would be good.
Yeah.
Got the house, got the car, got the girl, got the career, got just like you, Rob. It's like I mean, us alcoholics and us addicts. I mean, we're good at getting whatever we want.
Yeah.
And when I first got sober in 2018, with a guy that is no longer with us, Nate Dogg. A lot of you guys know.
Yeah.
That was my vision. I'm not gonna do step work. I'm gonna get the house, the car, the girl, all that stuff. And I remember getting that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember not working the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous or NA.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching you work the steps and seeing, and I judged your life.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this guy's got a beater ass car.
Yep.
He's got a blow and go.
Yep. The Malibu.
Yeah, you picked me up from it. And here I am getting picked up from a sober house from you, judging the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want nothing what this guy's got. He's working the steps. He's got some clarity in the situation that his life is at, and I'm not willing to do any of it. And I stack year after year after year up, not doing anything this program taught.
I didn't know you didn't do the steps back then. I didn't know that.
Dude, I've been saying this a lot lately because this is my experience, man.
Yeah.
I remember dying of alcoholism sober.
Of course.
I remember being 4 years sober with a barrel of a gun in my mouth.
Yep.
Thinking if this is what sobriety is, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I was going to splatter my eggs on the wall behind me. I mean,
yep. Yeah.
I was still gambling. I was still lying. I was still ripping off my employer.
Right.
I was coming in here. I thought if I had the nice watch, the nice car, you guys saw the nice car, you guys saw the house, you guys saw all that stuff. Inside, I'd be damned if I didn't bring like another guy to my house to like come hang out, because the minute I got home and the minute my ex wasn't around, I mean, I was in the corner crying. I'd be damned if you didn't see me.
Right. Right.
So I had this ego that was sky high and the self-esteem that was lower to the ground of the snake's belly, sober.
Yeah.
Until left with that decision with the barrel of a gun in my mouth. I'm either going to get loaded or I'm going to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I got loaded. And when I met my sponsor, when I got a new sponsor and I came back into the room, I said, there's a reason for this stuff. And I didn't understand what the reason was. I started getting into the work, started doing the step work, started doing the stuff that I didn't really believe in.
Of course.
I started
got results you couldn't deny. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that, and that still wasn't my story yet. Like I was doing the step work, but like I wasn't applying spiritual principles in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we say in the beginning of meetings, we practice these principles in all our affairs.
Yeah.
I was at a point so when I relapsed in 2024, well, let's see. Yeah. When I relapsed in 2024, I got sober again, and I was sober for another year before I went out on like a 1 week bender. And I bring that up because there's a reason for that. And I worked the steps, and I was practicing the principles in all my shares.
Yeah.
But I wasn't practicing them in all my affairs. I want to tell you guys that I was doing this stuff, but I'm still not practicing them. And I stacked another year and a half up. And I got the house, I got the car, got all that
as
stuff
we do,
that I
as
wanted.
We do, yeah. That what we think recovery is really about. Yeah.
But eventually, man, like I'm still in conflict with everybody, like the big book says. I'm in conflict with everybody else around me, and I'm staying in conflict, and I can't understand why, because I'm practicing no gratitude, no humility. I'm in selfishness. I'm in self-centeredness. It's all about me still. And I need relief from that.
Yeah. And that's one reason I love AA, is they kind of really like the steps of this, they're structured the same, right? The way that you work them is different, and like the focus is a little bit different. But that's what I like about AA is like they really focus on how selfish you are. I mean, like you do in NA, right? But it's for me, like my view of it is like a whole all around thing, right? But with like alcoholism or AA, like it's the selfishness and the self-centeredness, and it's like. And if you can just follow these principles that they do, like your life does get better, right? But you don't want to do it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like a prime example for a meeting where people do that at would be CP, right?
Central Pacific.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I remember going there and I'm like, this dude's wearing a suit. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are wearing a suit. These dudes are all douches. This dude's got a ponytail. You know what I mean? He's definitely a douche. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they really did these things. And it showed in their life, right? Because they didn't give a shit about what I was thinking.
No,
it didn't matter to them. He's gonna get 2 ponytails. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like now, like fast forward, I went back to that meeting recently because I wanted to get. Oh yeah, I go every week now.
Nice.
And I talk to these people that I used to once judge, right? Because like they had something that I want, right? You know what I'm saying? And like what's crazy is that like the dude that I didn't like the most was the first one to talk to me. And the dude that I didn't like the most is actually the one that I get the most from now. You know what I'm saying? And from that, like he introduces me to people.
Nice.
Right? You know what I mean? And it's like, cause I'm not very good at that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll go on my shell, right? But it's like, it's another thing of my disease, because like, oh, I'm different. I'm this, I'm that, but I'm not. You know what I mean? None of us are different.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's, it's kind of it's been refreshing to go back to that meeting, man. I didn't make it last night because I had to be up at 2:45, but yeah, keep going, man.
I love how you pinpointed like the difference, because like there is a difference between the two. But there's you've been so like over the years. I mean, you were solid in NA.
Yeah.
And you were still of service to me when I was new, the same way I need to mimic to other people.
Right.
And that's the only thing that gets us to the point where we can recover. And I love how, like, I've done some step work out of the step working guide.
Yeah.
And this is like the only thing I can memorize out of it. Okay. Yeah. But I loved it. It was like embedded into my brain. It was right in the beginning. It says, when is our disease active?
Yeah.
When we become obsessive, when we become trapped in obsessive, compulsive, self-centered routines, endless loops that lead nowhere to spiritual, mental, and physical decay.
Yeah.
My disease isn't active when I pick up the drug? No.
Yeah.
You can die of addiction and alcoholism sober.
Absolutely. Yeah. Miserable.
Miserable.
And
you ever ask yourself this? Like, why is it that when I get high, I'm sober? Why is it that my first, like, every time I pick up, I was fucking sober when I pick up? Like, regardless if I just slept the night or whatever, like I got high the night before and I've been up for like a week or whatever, and I fall asleep and I wake up, I still get high. Why do I still get high when I'm sober? So it's like, well, they were the drugs, alcohol, all that stuff was serving a purpose. It was relieving some kind of pain. Because here's the deal, man. Like I said in the meeting tonight, there was a time when the bag of dope kept me alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's funny because I don't share this a lot, but like I think that methamphetamines honestly saved my life from an overdose, right? Because I was up for 6 days on meth, and when I did this heroin, I fell out. Like I feel that like if I didn't do the meth that night, I probably would have died, or the 6 days before the night. Same thing, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's wild how everything can serve a purpose, man. And the longer that we come in here and we stay, we can really realize that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I think so. It's kind of draw back. Like it doesn't really matter what the system is that whatever program it is we're working. I kind of pinpointed spiritual principles because they're not negotiable. These spiritual principles. Yeah. I always thought like honesty is like needed, but like 95% of the time,
right,
it doesn't work. I can. Like spiritual principles, honesty, open-mindedness, willingness, like stuff like that, gratitude, selfless acts without it. I used to think I was the nicest person in the world because I would do X, Y, and Z for you.
Yeah.
But when it came time for you to do A, B, and C for me, I'd be sure to remind you about X, Y, and Z.
Right. Like everything's transactional.
Everything's absolutely. Everything's transactional. So like when I say I wasn't practicing spiritual principles throughout my recovery, that's exactly what I mean. I was still being dishonest, but I thought I was being honest.
Yeah.
To the point where my life is so miserable, I'm ready to. I need relief from it.
Yeah.
I need relief from it.
Yeah.
And I've been really hammering in this 6 step recently.
Mm-hmm.
6 and 7 a lot lately.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy how my character defects they're going to show up on every day of my life. Today they still do and stuff.
Absolutely.
But like, what's different now from like previous stints in recovery?
Yeah.
Is that I understand why the character defects are there. Like for instance,
they serve a purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
I spoke in there. We've spoke a little bit. We both had some parents that have passed recently, and we were both kind of finding some gratitude in that and some stuff like that. And it's like we were talking at the gym earlier today. It's like how much different like we can look at that stuff today.
Yeah.
And it's like we can find some gratitude in the situation, or we could be resentful at the rest of our family members for what they're not doing in this time of need.
Yeah. Which I fell victim to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'll say that for sure. You know what I mean? And it's been kind of messy because like I look at their character defects, right? And like instead of my own, when like obviously I have mine too, right? And they pop out, and I think that like I assume people need to act a certain way, and when they don't, you know what I mean? And I got to remember that like not everybody works this program, and not everybody is self-aware. You know what I mean? That's the thing, is that like like my siblings aren't aware of their shit.
Can you pray for them in that moment?
Yeah, that's the hard part. You know what I mean? Especially when it's so like, I've shared this before too, is that like my role has changed, right? Because I was the black sheep and now I'm the hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, now it's like, you guys just got to have a conversation with one another. You know what I mean? But it's hard because, the emotions are involved, and I think I think I know what's best, and in actuality, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Boom. There it is. And what you're pinpointing is exactly like the realization that I'm coming to today too. And sorry for interrupting you.
No,
I'm
it's
probably
fine.
going to get exactly to this, but like the first 7 deadly sins that's in front of that is pride. Yeah. I think I know what's best for them.
Yeah.
So like when I say I'm working 6 and 7, it's crazy how these 7 deadly sins, pride, gluttony, envy, lust, greed.
Yeah.
All of it is led by pride.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is. Like if I can cut the head off that snake of the 7 deadly sins, pride, there's no room for the other 6.
Yeah.
There's absolutely, like they can't fester. Pride always leads the way. And it says that in our 12 by 12. It says how pride leads the way. So today I'm just living in 6 and 7, man. I've been in the same situation you were just talking about. And it's like, where's my pride right now? I remember driving home from the hospital the other day. My sister was there at the hospital with me, and I have this deep-rooted resentment towards my sister that I've been working on. And stuff. And I get some relief from it.
Oh, is it locked?
Let's find out.
Yeah. It must be locked, huh?
It must be locked. Miss Gracie joining us here. So I have this deep-rooted resentment towards her, and like I get some relief from it because like I'm doing some amends, and I'm finding my part, and I do a 5th step on it. So I have some relief, but like, man, that the devil kind of creeps in with that and just plants the seed of resentment again in that moment.
Yeah.
She's like this, and I do this. Get away, you know,
Yeah.
and like in a point where I'm supposed to
Well,
provide.
she's trying to comfort you. Yeah.
And my job here is like my job is to provide my family with some peace as we're going through loss, and I
Yeah.
want to cause chaos, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm driving home and I call my boy Ben. I'm like, "Yo, man, what is this serving me? Like,
Yeah.
why am I holding on to this?"
Yeah.
And that's what the program does for me. It allows me to like recognize when I'm holding on to something, a character defect,
Yeah.
and I can like ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "Dude, like, what's it serving you?" Probably pride and superiority. We want to feel superior over the other person,
Yeah.
and that's just how the program is working in my life today.
I think like for me, like what it's done like is that I think before I actually react when it comes down to it, because like, and then like after I get like some clarity in the situation, and when I realize like what the correct way is to approach it, you know, because like obviously my first instinct is going to be the wrong one, you know, we all know that, right? And you know, there's going to be some anger, there's going to be, you know, me losing my temper or whatever, you know, because like I know that like I can get my point across better, at least I think that, right? But in actuality, I'm causing more chaos than I am helping, and it's like, and if I think about that, like, is this helpful to my mother? It's not.
No.
And what do I want for her? I want her to be comfortable and I want her to be happy.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing this, how am I contributing to that? You know, so I got to do my part, and sometimes I just got to let them do what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, it's because it's two people that like, well, it's my brother and sister, like they're full blooded, you know, and I don't know, I see both their points of view, but I'm glad that like, but I haven't done this perfectly, obviously, you know, but there was a point where me and my brother were about to go out in the yard and fight. And that was just once, so that's good. It's been about like a year since, about a year since my dad got diagnosed, you know, with cancer. So one time in a year is not bad, like not bad for how we used to be, you know. So it's like when I look at it like that, and it's like at the end of the day, like I don't want to hurt my brother. I don't want my brother to hurt me. I don't want to, that's my family. You know what I'm saying? So like when I really look at that, like I can pause and like just take a step back. I mean, for me, I have to have some silence, right? Like I can't act first because I know what it's gonna be. But when I do, and I actually have some compassion and I look at it, because like that's at the core, like I know that I can be a very compassionate person once I get past all those defects and all that other stuff, because I have a big heart, you know what I mean? And I don't want bad for people. But when I let those defects flare up, all bets are off, right? And then I got to make, amends. And I'm not very fond of that either. You know what I mean? But, but one of the best things that I've really realized is that, like, you know what, they're hurting too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that I have a place that I can go talk about that, because they don't. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I look at it like that, well, yeah, it's easy. The life becomes so much easier if we can just get out of our own way.
So much easier.
You know what I mean?
And I want to spin it over to Miss Gracie too, because I want to ask her a couple things. But
yeah, let's introduce yourself, Miss Gracie. She got glasses on up in here. She's cooling. She's cool. You can keep them on. Keep them on.
She just got that 8-piece.
Yeah, got that 8 years.
Got that 8-piece chicken.
So tell us, Miss Gracie, is it getting any easier?
No.
There we go.
No, being honest.
Yep.
It's a lot of stuff going on with me, and I'm trying to fix me. I can't worry about nobody else now.
Yeah.
But in the same process, I gotta help others just to stay where I need to be. And so I'm looking at this a game changer. I went to Big this weekend.
Yeah.
I got me a beautiful sponsor.
Did you camp?
No.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. I had to give you some shit. I knew you wouldn't. I knew the answer. I was just being a fucker. Yeah.
They know I camp at the hotel when I go, so that's what that is.
Oh, real quick, I just wanted to mention that Tim was not out last week for surgery. I just wanted to apologize on air.
Oh man,
sorry, Fern.
I watched that last week too, and I was praying for Tim.
Yeah,
I watched you last week.
That was just me being immature and giving my friend shit. So my apology, Tim. My apology to his mother.
Tim will give you stuff too.
Yeah,
he didn't even know I was watching.
Yeah. He said a lot of people had messaged him asking him how he's doing and how he's healing up. And
hey, I'm gonna step
Tim's
out.
Good.
I'm gonna step out of here a little bit, but I just want to kind of wrap everything up that I was talking about earlier, real quick before you jump on Miss Gracie over here. But I just want to say recovery today looks a lot different than what it used to. Like I talked a little bit about what didn't work. I remember being so miserable in AA, like I was ready to die, dying of alcoholism, not knowing what the solution was. Today, the solution, like I said, 12 steps were never like my vision. I did the stuff I didn't want to do. I currently do the stuff I don't want to do. I don't believe in step work. I do now. But when I first started to open up that book again, I thought this isn't going to work. This is the 10th time I'm doing this, but I did the shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to come in here. I did it anyway. You know, this is the stuff it is that we don't want to do, that we feel uncomfortable. Sharing. Somebody told me, I shared at a meeting earlier today. I said, you know, somebody brought it to my attention. I've heard this a million times, but if I continue going to meetings that I want to gain something from, I'm going to go to a lot of bad meetings. And if I can go to a meeting and figure out where I can contribute, make coffee, clean up, share my experience, I'm going to go to a lot of good meetings. And I haven't been to a bad meeting in a long time.
Yeah.
I thank you guys. You two have been here longer than I have. I love both of you guys with all my heart. You guys have picked me up when I fell down and I couldn't pick myself up. I appreciate you guys both for that.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys continue to work with the next guy coming in and the next girl coming in. Yeah, recovery is just amazing today. So I love you guys. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right.
Enjoy the fire.
All right.
Miss Gracie, I love you. Proud of you.
All right, Miss Gracie, give us a spiritual bomb.
Oh, I'm trying to. I was sitting over here thinking about that.
Love
And
you.
then I was thinking about you guys when y'all was saying y'all had to make amends. I had to make amends to my sister. It was so hard. You know, I couldn't stand her. I couldn't, didn't want to be about her.
Yeah.
She's not in recovery,
Right.
And I just, it was just so much stuff me and her had went through before.
Yeah.
My addiction and her drinking, and it was a lot. And I just made it a thing where I wasn't gonna never say nothing to her no more, be
Yep.
with her anymore. And so Jesus help me. But and I look at this today, me and my sister are so happy with each other. When she showed up for me Wednesday, that really made my day because I didn't think she was coming.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my heart was flooded because she came. I was like, oh, she said, I promise you, I told you I wasn't going to let you down no more. And I said, I told you I'm not going to let you guys down no more. My addiction put a lot on my family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it took a lot of my girl. And, in my three kids, if they feel some type of way today, they could feel that. And I'm
Right.
not mad at them.
Right.
When they ready to open up, want to spend time and do all that, it's okay.
Well, we kind of, what happens is we kind of feel the weight of it once we actually get clean, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't. In my mind, I was like, nobody gives a shit about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially in the end. You know what I mean? Like in the end, it was like, man, my dogs didn't even want to hang out. You know what I mean? Because they were scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were like, he's gonna die. You know what I mean? So it's like to feel the weight of that once I got clean, I was like, man, I never saw it like that.
My sister told me that the other day. She called me, she said, can I tell you something? I'm not trying to bring her back home here. She said, but when you was playing on my phone, on my floor, you couldn't breathe, you weren't moving, you
Yeah.
was there, and they was trying to get you to breathe. They couldn't get you breathing.
Yeah.
They got you to the hospital. They put all the machines on you. I thought I was going to lose my big sister.
Yeah.
Now, I cried so hard. I was like, well, you got your big sister, the real Grace. It's not going to happen like that. We're not going to do that. Only way I'm leaving here, the good Lord going to take me out of here. That's
Yeah.
the way I feel.
Right.
Pray to God each day I walk out this door, I'll be okay. But it ain't no guarantee. All of us can walk out the door and something happen. We don't know. And that's what I'm trying to tell everybody about this recovery. You need to get you a sponsor. You need to work
Mhm.
the steps. You need to do it. I got a good sponsor. She met with me Thursday at my house, and I opened up and said things to her that I didn't say to a lot of people. I was like, I need to get some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
I need a game changer for me.
And was it as bad as you thought it was gonna be?
No.
Never is. She was probably like me too. She was like me too. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh
just
well.
stop. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
telling them all, baby.
Right.
And she said, she's like, okay, now what's next? I
Yeah.
was like, okay. She said, how you feel now? I was like, I feel much better. And the more I talk to her, I know I will feel better. She said, well, this is what I want you to do when you leave here. I
Mm,
want you to take
the fun part.
Yeah. She said, take the big book, the NA book, and the first step, read it 15 times. I said, 15? What the? What? Yeah, here I go. I was like, which step? I said, Jesus, can I do this?
Yeah.
So I said, okay. Sunday, and I'm on Monday and Tuesday. I said, starting Sunday, I'm going to do read this step. each day, the whole thing. And by the 15th of, by close to the 15th of next month, I'll be through. And then she said, do step one. Don't do all of them. She said, we're going to do them in patches because I want to see where you at. I want you to do 2 patches. I want you to feel these steps this time.
Mm.
I was like, okay, here we go. You know, yeah, I am so scared, but in a way, I know I'm going to feel better.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of stuff I need to just get out of me. And
Yeah.
in a way, I'm going to feel better. And that's why I keep telling these ladies, if you in a relationship, is
Get out.
Run.
Get out. Yeah, cancel that shit. Yeah.
Y'all better run.
What are you doing?
Run.
Yeah.
No. I stated.
Yeah, you said that one. Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I say,
Don't
run
do
it.
it.
And I be asking myself now, I say, I did your crazy self in a relationship for 30-something years, and you know what was going on. I was like, Lord, I can't figure this out. But I'm telling you, ladies, don't do it. If you feel that you ready to go and you ready to walk away from that person, it's nothing holding you back. God got you
Right.
back. I thought when Kitty walked out the door, I wasn't going to do it was going to be bad. I was going to be struggling, it was going to be this and that, because I had to pay everything on my own.
Yeah.
You know what? I ain't had not one bad day yet, and that's by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And I mean that it get a little tight when the wire get choking around your neck, but
Yeah.
it loosened up.
Yeah.
You know, some days when I be like, Lord, how am I gonna get this bill paid? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I
Right.
said, you know what? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let it roll. And I swear for God, it just
Fuck them bills.
Look,
Yeah.
so
They come get their money. I'll be waiting right here.
Look, so today, I'm laying on the couch. I woke up after 4 o'clock. I said, Lord, please don't let me cut the lights off.
Yeah, that'd be a big whoops. Yeah, you need that one.
Look,
That one would be paid first. On
I got
the last day, if possible, of course. Yeah.
I got the money, Lord. You got this to my
Right.
morning.
Let me hang on to it a little tighter.
I said, put your hand on with this crazy later.
Yeah.
woke up, I said, "Oh." I was like, but you know what? God is telling me something every day to keep me help people, keep doing what I'm doing, keep serving God, and make sure I'm doing the right thing. On the days that I don't want to do the right thing, I do the right thing. I have a job, it's overwhelming, and I'm telling you, I just be some days want to act like I was about maybe 30 years ago. I be want to fight.
Yeah.
But I have to ask God, going back over and pray, Lord, give me strength. But I'm telling you, it's a way with this recovery, it makes us a better person. It makes us change our life. We feel so open and everything just feel at ease. But I'm telling y'all, it's not easy. Everybody's like, this race, you got 8
Right.
years, it's good. You're doing good. No, you just don't know the days I have.
Mhm,
And you know the days I have, you will understand it.
mhm.
And we know that Candy say something.
Right. Yeah, introduce yourself. You're on the mic. Let's hear it. Drop us a spiritual bomb tonight.
Well, I'm Candy Buck. My sober date is March 6th, 2021.
Yeah.
What do you want me to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? You're in the seat. That's the attitude for gratitude. What
Like-
brings you to Will Work on a Friday night?
Yes, that part right there.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been able to show up
Yeah.
over a year. Those that are close to me know, but I have been dealing with chronic pain, 2 herniated discs in my back, a torn shoulder, multiple injuries, and literally it had to change my recovery. It looked
Yeah.
a lot different. You know, I couldn't show up for people. It was
Yeah.
a war every single day just to show up for myself.
Yeah.
And so, you know, during this time behind scenes, I'm working still closely with Mentor, with my therapist, but it was more like I can go to the splash pad, I can go to the park, and I had the most meaningful conversations with strangers. But why? I left there filled, but I didn't have to respond to their text. I didn't have to answer their phone, and I didn't have to cancel plans. But that's all I could create space for in that moment. And I was able to show up Wednesday for Miss Gracie.
Yes.
It felt really good.
Yeah.
Felt really good to be able to show up again. And tonight, I'm emotional because I love this place. You
Yeah.
know, but to stand there and look at a room full of people,
It's popping on Fridays now.
to be
Yeah.
here tonight,
Yeah.
and to be able to show up again and create space for people
Yeah.
has shown me that I finally have had breakthrough in my own recovery.
Yeah.
You know, each season of recovery, it comes with different layers.
Yes,
and I'm
it does.
like,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing today. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where we're at today.
I didn't show up here for a long time. I couldn't stand any of these
Yeah.
motherfuckers up in here, man. You know what I mean? Every time I come up in here, I had anxiety, man. You know what I mean? But because it was, you know,
I look up. I said, "What problem?" I see the back of his shirt.
I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
just couldn't be around people. Now, when I say that, I wasn't isolating. You know, I'm around people at work in recovery over at Freedom Works. So I'm around people on a constant basis.
yeah.
But, you know, last year I
But
lost my job.
it's kind of a different role, though. You know what I mean?
It is. It's
Yeah.
chaos on a different level, but I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm guarded.
Yeah.
I have boundaries. I'm not my true authentic self. So Wednesday night, just being able to embrace that authentic self of mine again felt so freeing.
Yeah.
And it's not that I haven't wanted to, but you know, when you're dealing with chronic pain day after day and you just can't go out and get high like you used to, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, now I got to parent a 2 and 4-year-old while I'm trying to survive. You're in a different element.
Yeah.
My safe place
Yeah.
was like, go home. Okay, go to work. Go home. Go to work. But in that, a lot of growth happened because taking myself out of equations where I used to plug in all the time, I had to dig deeper in ways I found because I'm hanging out with myself a lot more.
Yeah.
And that part is not
Yeah. It's not that easy sometimes.
more
Yeah.
fun. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, but you know, I lost my job back last year because of the injury. They went and pulled my job, and it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because
Usually is.
she talks about the Lord provides, you know,
Yeah.
where you're just like, I don't know how this is going to work. Where every need was met, but it was a reset that I didn't know I needed
Yeah.
without having to go back to using, to go back to treatment because
Yeah.
I was right there, like, you know,
Fuck it.
I can just go back to
Why not?
treatment.
Yeah.
They can feed me. They'll help me
It
with
sounds
my
great.
kids. Don't
Sounds
have to
great.
pay any bills.
Oh,
don't
I
have
love
to
that
be an
part, yeah.
adult.
Yeah.
And then my job opened back up over there, and I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. And
Mm.
you know, when I sit back now though and think, like, the question has come up multiple times this week, like, what's your stressors? And I'm like, my life is pretty good,
Yeah.
despite not being able to come out and connect. But I miss that because that is the core to who I am.
Yeah.
It's a fight, it's a war,
Yeah.
it's feeling suck.
Yeah. Yeah. They're ishy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But feelings aren't facts. I had to say that to somebody. Actually, it was, and then I don't know. This person reached out to me, and like I haven't talked to them in a long time, and like I kind of was like feelings ain't facts, and then they wanted to ask me for a favor, and I ignored them. So pretty sure they're using, and I know what the favor was. I'm sure it was started with M and with a Y.
Yeah.
But I don't have any of that right now. I'm what they would call house poor. So. And if I did, I mean, and I knew where it was going, it's like, well, am I helping you or am I hurting you? But sometimes still, you gotta give somebody a little gem, and hopefully they kept that, and hopefully they can make it to treatment or in the rooms and whatnot, But it's hard, man. That's one thing that's hard about being in recovery long term is that like you see people that just keep going doing the same thing, and it's like, hey, you should did it again.
Go around that same mountain
You know?
over and over, expecting different
Yeah,
results.
it
you
really
know?
it gets kind of, to be honest, some people it's just painful to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that shit hurts, man. My heart hurts for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Talking about you. We're looking at you. Why did you keep putting yourself through this?
Yeah,
It's crazy out there. I work in a place where nothing but addicts.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to put up with that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the stuff I go through, 5 days a week, I wouldn't put that on nobody else but God. But
Yeah.
God, look, I need help when I be in there. I be like, I be serious to death. I be like, Lord, could you fix something? Could you help me do something? You know, it's that, you know, I watch it with the drugs and stuff. It's not, it ain't what it used to be. And it's just personal.
Right. They got shit I can't even pronounce. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
And now the lean ain't even like this anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, what is the? That's
I'm-
gonna hurt.
When I'm ordering UA cups now, I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What are we testing for here? Let's go back to these.
What is that?
Are you sure we want to test for this?
Yeah.
Is that something people are doing? But
Yeah.
you know, there comes a point where, you know, somebody actually looked at me and was like, why aren't you compassionate? But you just kind of look at that person like you've extended that grace and compassion
Yeah.
so many times, you know, and it happens. They'll come sit across me in my
Because
office.
sometimes they don't need compassion.
Let me
Sometimes
tell
they
you
need somebody to be that.
Let me tell you something. And that's what I've learned. This, I'm telling you. when I-
Gracie ain't fucking around.
No, one time I was up in 2218, and I remember this girl. She stood up and said, "Yeah, I came back, and my sponsor didn't even give me the passion I was looking for." And she
Fine
was
enough.
talking about me, but like I told her, I
Oh, I've heard that
gave
before. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many times
I'm
you
like,
been out there? How many times? Okay, every time you come back, you got the same little story for me. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna be there for you. But you can't accept the same results every time you come.
I'm like, hey, you need to fire that fucking sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy sucks.
I
You know?
just dealt with that at work, you know, where I have my coworkers like, my faith is in Jesus Christ, right?
Amen.
But my coworkers see grace upon grace upon grace upon grace. I'm like, y'all have never used. You don't know these behaviors. I said, this person is so used to hustling, they're manipulative. Okay,
Yeah.
and so now they just bring them to my office. I'm like,
No, that backfired.
they did not
Yeah.
like to hear that they got called out because I was like, well, here's this document, this document, this document. They're like, you got the facts. They went around, they threw a rock in my car, they keyed my car, and they were trying to drag my name through mud. I said, I got the facts on paper. I don't
Yeah.
need anything. But it's heartbreaking because a lot of times in recovery, you have to overcome even those mindsets of survival that you had out on the streets.
Yeah.
You know, because we get rid of the drugs, we get rid of the alcohol, but these behaviors still are stuck.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's
what brings us back.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Or if not, it doesn't bring us anywhere good. Because I'll tell you what, like I'll still act out of my disease, and like it doesn't bring me anywhere good.
No.
You
Right.
know.
And that's why I've been trying to hold my composure at my job. The first thing, they will come up there and first thing say no. And see, they won't come to the desk because when I'm working, it be clear. Because they know I'm not going for all that old
Right.
nonsense, all that manipulating and trying to 3-2 or whatever they call it. I'm not having that. So
Right.
then the first thing they come out their mouth, well, we don't like that old me.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, you asked me to lie, and I'm not
Right.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second.
No,
And
I'm
now
not
you're
gonna lie.
mad because I won't lie.
I'm not lying. For
And that's why I don't do any of those kind of, because I might lie for them.
Oh
No.
man.
No, you know what's funny is that like I
You
got
will not lie for these people.
no, I know I'm probably not, but we got at work. I got T-boned by this dude, right? And like, so he pulled over and stopped. I figured he left. You know what I mean? And then like, you know, I walk over to him and you know, I don't think he spoke very good English, but and I thought he was drunk, you know, but I'm like, you realize you just ran that red light and smashed into our truck, right? And he's like, you guys are speeding. I was like, no, we're not. Like, I'm not speeding in a city vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, it's GPS tracked. Like, I guarantee you I wasn't speeding, you know?
Right.
And then like, so the cops get there and they end up arresting the guy and they're like, yeah, he has warrants. And then the car was stolen. And I thought to myself, like, I could have, if I'd have known that, I'd have been like, well, take off, man. You know, I don't know what happened. You know, I don't, you know, I thought that, like, it was just, you know, I couldn't believe that. Like, why would you, huh? You know what I mean? I was so confused. You know, I was like, you got warrants and you stopped? Like, what kind of a criminal are you, man? Well, obviously wasn't a criminal. You know, I don't know what the warrant was for. I didn't even ask. I was like, wow.
In my job, the worst criminals in the world, I'll be looking at them like, all these cameras.
Like, you know, we see you. Yeah, yeah. I love that.
part right
Wasn't me.
there. A couple times this week, I was like, oh, okay, go look at this place, this town
Yeah.
right here. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong job.
Yeah.
I'm in finance.
Yes.
We don't
Right.
have an investigation. Why? Right now?
Yeah.
So, they'll ask me all the time, like, how did you just figure that out? I said, trauma.
Yeah.
That's all I got for it, though. 'Cause
I'm watching everybody all the time with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can take what, like the enemy took to try to take us out and use it for good, because now those past trauma experiences, I can pull it over here to figure things out and get answers. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I used to do that for different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of, yeah, I just got a text from a mutual friend, he's in jail again. You could probably guess it's probably two or three of my older friends that pop up, and it's like, ah, shit, you're in jail again. It's like, what happened to Teen Challenge? Didn't work out so well. But I'm hopeful, man. Hopefully, he can get out and not have to keep going back. But I just, I think about that, and it's like, man, it gives me gratitude. It does, because it's like, I think about like, what if I didn't do what I did when I did? I'd have been in the same boat, just sitting in jail. It wasn't nothing. It was just a part of life. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I didn't spend like hardcore prison time or nothing. I'm not going to sit here and say I did, but like, I went to jail quite a bit. You know what I mean? And it really wasn't anything. It was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to jail. I can get some sleep. I can get some food. You know what I mean? And then when I get out, I'm going to stop smoking. That never happened. Never stopped smoking.
Like,
not once. Every single time that I got out, the first thing I did was get a cigarette. Yeah. Give me a cigarette, Because it sounds good. It's like, man, when I get out, man, I'm going to do so good. You believe it, too.
11 days,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And then you're like 11 minutes out.
Yeah.
Like,
They have me a smoke, go get drunk, I'm not going to do any meth, though, Yeah, I said that enough times.
Let me tell you, I was like, hey, she said, how you like this? I do this every weekend. I said, I don't know about that, but I can't do this.
Yeah.
I gotta get up out of here. You know what? Now that's one thing God put a hold on me. He made sure I didn't carry my crazy butt back to jail.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I'm not going nowhere, nobody going to make so I'm going down.
Yeah.
I think that one of the times I was like, I can avoid it this time. I ended up in mental health for about 3 weeks instead. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that's a lot of
And that's a
food."
little harder to get out.
They don't let you
Yeah.
sleep. They
Yeah.
make you go to these groups. And I was like, I'll go back there.
Yeah.
Just, like, sleep all day.
Yeah, they'll let you sleep all day. Well, unless,
Uh,
depending on what county you're in, but
yeah.
for the most part, you can just sleep. Finally get some sleep. And, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm tired for them, right? Like, I'm tired of you going to jail. Like, from my point of view, like, I'm tired for you.
It's
Like, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm tired of going back to jail. I'm tired of going, keep going.
Yeah.
Years back. Then it come back. It's crazy. I said, I'm always be there for you. I promise I'm gonna be there for you. But I'm not gonna be there to make you want me to be
yeah,
there. I'm gonna be there for your love. You need something help, you need a little strength. I'll be there. But for all the other extra stuff, no, I'm not doing that.
yeah.
I feel like if you really
Well, because that ain't helping them.
No,
You know?
that's just gonna make it worse. If you go in there, oh, yeah, she got me every time I get out. I'm gonna get no, you cannot do that. God knows that. I keep telling her, it's a game changer if you do this recovery. If you do those step work and do everything you need to do, but you got to look deep down inside.
Mhm.
And, it took me a minute to feel that because I felt it, but it's, I'd be like, I don't want all these damn people in my damn business. You ain't got no business.
And
Right.
how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Because you get out of it what you put into
Well,
it.
and the hard part is too is that like I know for a long time I really wanted it. You know what I mean? I did, but I still didn't get it. You know what I mean? And like that's the hard part is that like it can take some time. Some people
21 years for me.
they're
21 years
the
of
one
trying.
that's running this podcast, he Googled how to get sober and went and got sober and went and got into treatment and boom, that was it. You know what I mean? And it was like that it just didn't work out that way for me, and it was like I wanted to. And even back when I was like 16, when I got in trouble, I still wanted to, but I just didn't. I was just not going to do that, right? I just wasn't going to do hard drugs. I was just going to drink, and like I just try to put whatever answer to that equation that like was never going to work out. I was we'll try this, and like I literally feel like I ran out of options because it was like, all right, well, it's what am I going to do here?
It's smooth. They
Yeah.
mix it with anything. thing. But
Right.
you know, I was just reflecting on this yesterday. Actually, I was just thinking back to like when I was 17 and I was in a halfway house already.
Yeah.
And I go into my first AA meeting, and I was like, "I'm Candy."
It was a lot different back then.
Here.
Yeah, it was a lot different. Everybody smoking cigarettes. You know, you got the old
Inside
fat
the
dude. Yeah,
building.
yeah, you got the old fat dude. That's
But I didn't want it. You know, I didn't want it.
Yes.
Every time I was forced, of course, we know how that story goes.
Yeah.
No.
And it's
Just
just
get the
like
heat off.
one day you're like, okay, this is it. You know, and
You know, I feel
And then you use like 18 more times. Yeah.
And you know that I feel like this. I be like looking at this. I looked at everybody because I thought I was better than them in my using drugs because everybody was shooting.
Yeah.
Everybody was shooting though. And
I
I'm
just
like,
snorted.
yeah, I'm just
the
snorting.
doctor
Yeah.
prescribed it. It's legal.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm better than everybody. I've got this. going. I
Yes.
got control of it.
I'm working.
I lost everything in life
Yeah.
and still trying to find
Overdosed in the hospital twice.
Oh,
That it's that part right there.
My life just may have become unmanageable at that point. That was the day that I realized my life was unmanageable.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the truth. I was woke up out of coma regards.
Whoops.
When I woke up, I was about the next 2 days. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm gonna
Get high.
Look, I took my purse and went in the bathroom.
Found some goodies.
Well, I'm like, hey, it's all
All
done.
right. Still got some more.
Look, you guys, I woke up. I was back in the hospital bed with tubes down in me.
Yeah.
I say, Jesus. help me,
Yep.
slave.
Whoops.
I woke up. I'm like, what the heck? I thought I was putting my clothes on. What happened? She said, what happened? You're going on a state of commitment.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Jesus,
not
I
easy.
real. And you know, I cried because I felt like they was trying to take advantage of me.
Right.
Steal
How
my-
dare they save my life?
And right now today, I wish I could find them 2 ladies and the security, the police, the police that came
Yeah.
to take me to court. I wish I could find all of them and tell them thank you for
Right.
my life.
Because
today.
I don't remember like the situation that got me into recovery. I know it was like my 4th DUI, but I don't remember the cops. And I wonder because I work for that city now. You know what I mean? Like I work for the city of St. Paul, and we work for the same people. We're on the same team now, basically. You know what I mean? And like like we'll be at like a company thing or like retirement party, and I'm looking, I'm like, is that it? Is that it? You know, I'm like, yeah, that one's kind of looking at me, but they all kind of look at me. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I think I arrested that guy on the east side one time, which they haven't. But I wonder too, and I'm like, I wonder if those officers are still there because obviously I don't remember. I don't remember anything. I just remember going to jail, and I don't even remember jail. I just remember like coming to in Ramsey County and like asking some native dude about his tattoo because I was all barred out on some benzos, or like after the fact. I think like the benzos were still like working after the heroin wore off, and then after the meth wore off, and I slept. And that was like the first thing I remember. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna be here for a while. You know what I mean? And then like they were like, Herman, pack it up. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I was like, well, and there goes that idea because I thought for sure that was the end of the road. But no, the road went a little further and I dug a little deeper.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out because I want to go back. So I was at the hospital over there in Robbinsdale when I went to North Memorial, and I was on the 6th floor. And that's my next pet peeve. I want to make it back that way.
Yeah.
And so I could go up on the floor and tell the nurses and the tell the doctors, all of them that I really appreciate them and
Right.
where I'm at today in my life. And if they ever need me to speak or talk to someone that's up there suffering and needs some help, I'm willing to do it. Because you gotta get his stuff back. If you don't get it back, you just a waste of time to sit here holding on to something that you're being selfish. You gotta share it. Somebody share it with me, I gotta share it with them.
Can't keep what you have unless you give it away.
No, and I'm just saying, one thing, Ron and Candy have been through me through my worst days. And Ron really have. I'm talking about through my separation every day. I thought I was a walking time bomb, but I got through it.
You did.
Yeah, I
You
got through it.
did.
Right.
And I feel so much better.
You just had a lot of laughter.
But doesn't it feel good to gain some boundaries, right? Because that's what you did. You went you stood on business and you stood on principles. You said, look, this is what it is, and I ain't going.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And like, and that's powerful. There's something powerful in that once you realize that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Once you get that self-respect and that self-worth where you're like, no, this isn't going on like that.
That part,
You know,
right
but
there.
once you really do that, you really learn to appreciate or even who you're gonna allow into your space. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, man, I ain't
That
no.
part.
And I don't, you know, like I don't have any ill will towards people, but it's just I don't want to. No, I'm good.
No.
That
I'm all
part.
right. I'm gonna be over here. You know, that's it. I
That
don't,
is
you know.
true.
But I didn't know how to do that when I got in recovery. And I didn't even know how to do that until I had like 5-6 years, to be honest, because it's, you know, it's slow.
It took
You
me
know?
this year away from the community to actually learn
that.
that self.
Yeah.
I think it's 7 years.
It took me about 6. You know what I mean? It took me about 6. Yeah.
I mean, a
You
whole
know?
life. Let's talk about. It took me 43 years to learn that.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't even know what I always thought you were just a soft ass dude if you said that. Like, you
Oh.
pussy, you know what I mean? Boundaries, boundaries.
Oh,
I'm
you know
like,
what-
but
you know what's
man, there's so
so-
much truth to it though that it's like, wow, that's what they were talking about this whole time.
It's true because now though, you know, I have this 4-year-old and this 2-year-old,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we go in public places. And I'm like, can I use that word a lot? Because somebody was really close to Malachi, and he goes, I'm gonna need some space. You're in my boundary zone. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, wow.
You
Getting
know,
started early.
yeah, but you know, I'm grateful for that. You know, and I piggyback off what you said about my drugs are better, right? Because I was that person. I was the closet addict that
Yeah.
I was doing the hard stuff. The doctor gave this to me, but last night I was up at midnight, and today is my 4th son's 11th birthday. It's the 7th year that I haven't had contact with him.
Yeah.
But this one hit harder. It wasn't the guilt this time. It wasn't the shame. It was the reality of what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
And I say that because I used the whole pregnancy. I knew how to hide it, to go to a doctor that didn't know because the medical records didn't combine at that
Right.
time. 365 opiates a month prescribed. And you look back and you're like, but I was fine because they gave them to me legally. But yet
Yeah.
I'd use 90 pills in a week, and then I know I'd get the next prescription, and then I
Yeah.
get the next one. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, when you like get arrested, you're in jail, you lost your kids, you lost your rights, the whole town's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to talk about it because you're living in a closet.
Yeah.
Then now you have to learn to talk about stuff and tell your weakest moments,
Yeah.
share about it, be vulnerable, set boundaries.
Well, I feel that like the disease of addiction isn't really about a weakness, because it's like the obsession and compulsion. Like we do things that we really don't want to do. You know, like we don't really
yes.
want to do it, right? You know what I'm saying?
So
And like
true.
I feel that it's just like that, the obsession and compulsion to like finally break through that, because like I know, and then like I still act out on my disease, right? But I just don't pick up chemicals, right? But like, and it's stuff that I don't want to do,
So
but I
true.
feel like I'm being forced to do it, and it's me forcing myself to do it, and I don't even want to do it. And like that's like, to me, like that's what the disease of addiction is, right? Because like normal people, like, and some people, like, yeah, they have they have
Ugh.
problems with using, but I don't know if they have the obsession and the compulsion, right? To like
They
to
don't.
not do the behavior that they hate. Like they hate themselves for doing it, but
Yes.
they still do it and they can't stop and they don't know why. I feel that like that's like at the core of like what the disease of addiction is.
That part.
Because I still have
That
stuff
part.
that I do that I hate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And after the fact, I'm like, why did I do that? Why do I always do that? And I pray to God and I'm like, God, please take this from me. You know, but and it doesn't happen. Then I'm like, well, why am I just fundamentally broken? No, because there's something that I have to learn in the process. I just haven't learned it yet. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's got to be beaten to me, you know, probably with a hammer or whatever. But there's always something at the end of the tunnel. I got to remember that, because it's not always, and I got to remember that too for everybody. It's universal, you know, because like us addicts, but it's just that the symptoms show up in different ways, right? And I got to remember that, because I often forget, and I'll often get mad, and I'll often, you know what I'm saying, like when I see behaviors or whatever. But I got to remember that like we're all addicts, and like maybe when somebody does those things, maybe it's something they don't even want to do that they're doing, because it's something that they hate themselves for. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that inner duality. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part about like the disease of addiction. And like when I first got into recovery, like I thought that was just a cop out. Like anybody who said that was a disease. No, it's a choice. The first one might be a choice, but But after the fact, man, it's weird. It's like there's just this mental thing that like, and you can replace that with, and I replaced it with, you know, almost anything that like you probably shouldn't replace it with, right? And it's like, and over the years too, I've really learned that like, yeah, I shouldn't judge. When I got in here, man, I judged a lot of people for a lot of things, and I'll tell you what, I did those things, you know, except for one, I didn't cheat on my wife. Never had a wife, but you know, that's the only thing that I didn't do, you know, and like, and don't get me wrong, I mean, like, is it not possible? It's possible, you know, and I feel that I'm a pretty honest person, but like, I don't know what situation is that? What if I did get there, and what if that did happen? You know, the guy at Gopher State, you know, where he said, yeah, he had to rewrite his whole recovery after year 10, ran off with another woman and started a whole new family, you know, and it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And the guy's up there with 30 years, man, sharing some experience, strength, and hope. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That could be me. That could be me. You know, like I've done some things in recovery I'm definitely not proud of, you know, and why is that? Because you know, it's a symptom of my disease that like I didn't really know what it even meant until I had to learn, you know, until we learn, you know, like I didn't really think that I had a problem until like far after it was evident that I did. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was definitely some consequences, but
I could never figure out, you know, like I'd hang out with what I call normal people, you
Yeah.
know, and that was the only groups I hung out with. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? But coming into this community, you're like, I'm not alone.
yeah,
You find people who struggle, but like my
Yeah.
boss at work, I asked him point blank one day, have you ever been through trauma? Do you know what trauma is? And he shakes his head like this. I'm like, of course not. So, like, I go into his office and he looks at me yesterday and goes, do you know you have OCD? I'm like, what the fuck? How do you go? What do you mean?
yeah,
And he goes, every time you come in here, you touch that hand sanitizer. I was like, yeah, so I'm touching money, I'm touching this, I'm touching that. And he goes, no, you have an obsession with it. I'm like, fuck, now you found another issue with me, you know?
Yeah.
But him, he's like, yeah, when I like have a beer, I watch him like, you can have a beer?
I hate
How
you.
often can you have a beer?
Right.
Like, wait, what? Just one beer?
I'm not gonna lie, that
Okay.
sounds amazing.
But just
That sounds great.
crack it
I would
open. And he's
love
just
to.
fine. And
Yeah.
he's just fine. His wife's
I'll
a
be honest
doctor.
with you.
Just
I'll be
one
real.
beer. I wish one beer. One
Yeah.
beer.
Or two.
It won't stop there though for
Right.
me.
There's my addict.
Then
Or
it's
two.
3, and then I'm
Yeah.
good today. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it again next
Yeah.
weekend because that's how it starts. Oh, I did it last
Yeah.
weekend. That
Because I'm
was good,
normal.
and I did it the
It's
next
normal.
weekend, and guess what? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the TV and they cold.
Ugh.
Oh man, come on,
It's
man.
summertime, Gracie.
You think I can go to the store buy a 6-pack and with nobody done that?
Right.
No, you gonna tell them you damn.
Right. And I thought about that
That
too.
hurts.
Like I'll look at my yard or something like, man, I can mow the yard later. I'm like, it'd be pretty nice to have some beer and do that. I ain't mowing no yard, man.
I'm
Drinking
like,
beer.
glass
you
of
know?
wine, kids go to bed.
Right, like we- like
Nobody
somehow we-
knows.
Like somehow we just went from dereliction to like bougie. You know what I mean? Like somehow we just upped our classes and we just skipped all that part. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have some
I
wine.
give it just a couple sips
Yeah.
of it when the kids go to
I'm
bed.
just gonna swish it out of my mouth and spit it out.
Yes. You know, like my boss though asked me, he goes, what are your signs? No.
Now I punched him in his dick.
Well,
Damn, on the
well,
no.
he asked me one day, he said, you know, I just want you to know, the boss trusts
That
you.
beer tastes
I was
good.
like, what do you mean he trusts me? He goes, because I was worried. You called in sick on a Monday. I asked if we needed to UA you. I was like, huh? And so, but I don't call in sick. He goes, well, how do I know? I said, go get the UA cup right now.
Man,
I said, you would know. Because for me, you
well, I
would
ain't
know.
going.
It
Probably not showing up.
I don't know about anybody else, but it doesn't stop with the alcohol. For me.
Nah.
It goes over here because I can handle this. So a little dab
Hey,
here.
I'll
and
be
a little dab
the
over
only
there.
human that lost 20 pounds in a day.
Uh,
You know, sweating and smelling like ugh.
I
Yeah,
I gain weight
Hmm.
when I'm using like
I just like that, gone. And then I get a big red
Dang.
sore on my face. It's just a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Ranger just giving me right away.
hold on.
Just terrible. Yeah.
Hold on. There's bugs.
Yeah. Oh, I don't miss that.
It takes my mom. If my mom was here, she'll come in there and I'll submit her. She'll see, she'll know that I'm high. That's what she do.
They always know.
Look,
Moms and
she
dads
look-
always know.
look, She look at my cigarette and it be this damn.
Yeah. There you go again.
It's not gonna stop. But the last thing she said before she left me, she said, just grab me my lips. Please, don't be smell. I didn't do it in 2012. I did it in 2018. I made it. I did. I did this act. I knew it at the time she said it. But it took me a while because it had said it that I lost my mind. And it was so hard. And I was like, I don't give a damn about nobody else. It's over.
Yeah.
Here, my kids grown, my mom gone, so it's all whatever.
Get high.
Yes. And that's what I did.
Yep.
You know, it's sometimes you just got to just say, the deeper we go in, the harder it's gonna get. You know, we just got like, okay, we got to come up for air and breathe. And if we come up from that air and breathe, we'll feel much better.
Yeah. Let's see Brock out there.
Come on here,
Yeah.
Brian.
He's gonna drop off.
I think we probably had a wrap it up point.
Yeah.
Wrap her up for a Friday evening. So pick a number.
3.
What is one goal you'd like to accomplish during your lifetime?
Ooh. Being able to see my first 5 kids again.
Good one. No. You got to pick a number.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to pick a number. You ain't getting off that easy. You don't get to think about it.
That one hit hard.
Yeah.
So.
You're like, God, I wish I would have picked 13.
I'm like, man, I've cried enough today.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Let's go for 8 years.
Ooh,
All right, 8.
yes.
If they made a movie of your life, what actor, actress would you want to play you?
What actor I want to play me? I would love
Oprah?
Ooh,
Oprah. That's great.
yes.
I love it. Oprah.
I'm calling
Ah,
her.
right. That's great. Let's see, what number do I pick? 23. 23. I feel like I picked that before. If you could meet any historical figure, either living or deceased, who would you choose? Shit, that one sucks.
Here, let's pick a different one.
No, I gotta answer it. Who would I choose? A historical figure? Either Jim Morrison or Bob Marley.
I knew you were going to
Yeah.
say Bob Marley.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob Marley's awesome. Yeah, I got him hanging up in my room, man. All right, that's what we have this evening for Attitude for Gratitude podcast. If you'd like to be on the show, reach out to Tim, holler at Tim. He'll get you set up, get you on the show. Come share some experience, strength, and hope. Other than that, we're over and we're out. Peace.
I love you guys.
This was so beautiful to be reunited with
I wasn't
you.
even gonna do it.
I just came to wave at her. Ray was like, grabbed me and just pushed me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but okay, thanks, Ray. We got to do a picture because this was like reunited.